But here's a little bit of one up podcast advice for y'all. Just don't send your dick unless the girl asks for it. Just don't do it.
Don't be
Guarantee
Anthony
it's
Weiner,
not gonna
man.
work out for you. It's not gonna work out for you unless she says, "Send me a dick picture right now." That's the only time.
You may as well go buy some lottery tickets because that's about your chance of sending an unsolicited dick pic and the girl being like, "Oh, you should come over right now."
Yeah, you gotta be like
if your dick's big or not,
supermodel.
because
I know you gotta be like a
that might have to
supermodel.
have a play in it. If you
I
got
don't
a
think
small
that-
dick or some
no.
or a crooked or some
I
weird
think
dick,
that's mano-vision. We're looking at it with men vision. It's not gonna happen.
No, it's not.
If the cock is grand enough, it's gonna succeed.
Dude,
right?
so
Shun mother-
let me
Shun
ask
is
y'all
back.
this, since we're all in our 30s. Why is it so easy for women to date in their 30s versus men?
Oh wow, I don't think that
Oh
was
my
the
God,
question,
this
but
is
the
like
framing tells me everything. How you
Tony,
feel.
I've got the answer for you. It's not any easier for any sex to date.
No.
Next topic.
Yeah,
What do
yes,
we
it
got?
is. Yes, it is. 100%.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Listen, I could understand why you're framing it that way, because in actual reality, there's more men than women. There's more dicks than pussies. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think so. I don't.
Well, I stand corrected if I'm wrong. I feel like if you ask a woman if they have a boyfriend, almost all of them would say yes. And it's like statistically impossible that it's a 1-to-1 ratio for men to women.
Let me ask you
feel
this,
like-
the boy. Not even ask. I'm gonna tell you. The moment you ask a woman if they got a boyfriend, you failed at getting that girl. It's as simple as that. Half the
would
time
agree.
these girls are down to cheat on their man, bro. You know what's crazy? I mean, it's both ways. But you know what's crazy? The best liars and cheaters are the females. They're
There
the
are
best.
a lot of wild statements
No,
being
that ain't
made here.
no wild statement.
I got some wild-
Any real
Tony,
nigga will tell you straight out.
I got
the
some
best
wild
liars
statements.
are the females.
Let's
I got some
rewind
wild
here.
statements.
Let's rewind because we got to go back to the original question. Show your work. Why do you believe that it's harder for men to date than women? What advantage do you think women have in the dating world?
Oh, they got advantages. That's
mean,
why
it's
they're
just,
getting taken out.
Okay,
And
but I want
fucking-
specifics is what I want. I want something we can actually discuss.
The
You
advantage
don't
it
take
is,
a man out. You take a woman out. You don't take a man out.
so the advantage is that guys are horny fucking bastards. And if you're 30 and single, going to a bar, you're there to try to get some ass or try to find a relationship. So they're going to be thirsty. Girls don't have to be thirsty. Unfortunately, right, if you're a beautiful woman and you have a beautiful body, men are automatically attracted to you. That's just the dog in men, right? And this might seem sexist, this might seem whatever the fuck, but this is the honest fucking truth. If you're a hot girl, like if you're fine, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? Well, whatever. We all know
We're
the
gonna
difference
get
here.
into that. We
We
all
all know the difference here. If you a dime, niggas is gonna approach you. It's as simple and fucking plain. It's just simple. I'm not trying to sound like a dick or anything, but that's just how it is. It's easier for a girl to pull a guy than a guy to pull a girl. Way easier.
Guaranteed.
Because if the girl's defenses are up, nigga, you ain't getting through that shit. You ain't getting through that shit.
All right. So is that your whole point?
No, whole point to what?
I don't
Well,
think it's
you were
whole
asked a
point. I think he was
question.
just trying to make a point. Yeah.
Well, you stated 30. You stated 30 specifically, so I'm curious. Like,
Well,
what
the 30
makes...
is the conversation I had with somebody, right? Like anywhere, like the for men, the older you get, it's harder to pull a female unless you're in great shape, you got money, and there's certain expectations of a man.
This guy you're talking to, is he trying to date women around his age, or is he trying to date like 20-year-old women?
That's we didn't get into specifics for
that would skew the
Okay, but
the
wait, what if
information
you
there.
haven't had children and you're in your 40s? You obviously have to look for somebody who's in their 30s, right? Which wouldn't be in your age range
Why would you obviously have to do that?
because
the older
40-year-old women
woman,
can't
yeah.
have children.
No, that's not true. They can. They're high risk.
Yeah. Well, they're not. I mean, the eggs only last for so long, right?
Sure. I mean,
I don't think you have to do anything.
But wait, if you're a male looking to, we have our instincts, right? We want to create children. We want to do that. If I'm in my 40s, is it really bad for me to look for someone who's fertile enough to hold my sperm?
Well, now we're getting into a different thing. Now we're talking about now we're talking about age gaps and things like that.
Yeah, you always frame your questions and if is it right or wrong. It's a this is a departure.
This is a
it's not
deviation.
wrong. You can date whoever the fuck you want to date. Nobody's
All I'm saying is it is harder for a man and that is older, right? And let's just say I'm using 30 as like a minimum, right?
Sure. I'm gonna cut you off real quick because I just want to get to the meat of it, the meat and the potatoes. I don't want to hear none of the fluff. You're saying that it's easier for a woman because a woman could pull a guy easier than a guy could pull a woman.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
100%.
So, okay.
Yeah.
That's why my question 12 minutes ago was, is that your point?
Yeah.
Like, is that the answer to Mateo's question?
Yeah. And the older you are, the harder it is for a man.
For sure.
I think it goes both ways, honestly. Because as Doey stated in his response, as your friend might have stated in his like framing of this question in to begin with, I think women have a lot of trouble actually dating once they hit a certain age threshold, because guys are looking for younger women typically, which I think there's a whole thing to unpack there.
That's the older guys though. There's a difference. The older guys are looking for the younger.
What if you don't have any children and it's been 40 years, 50 years, and you're interested in having children?
Go adopt.
Yeah. Sorry. No.
Yeah, but what if you want to have your own children?
Yeah. So
adopted
in that
children
case,
are your own children.
In that case, though, you gotta
What
recognize that.
No, you want to have your own.
He's talking about
your
bloodline.
own bloodline. There's a clear separation between adoption and actually putting your seed in someone.
I would
them giving birth to your seed.
There's a separation, very small.
You should have conversations with people who have adopted children.
I don't think that the love for that child is any different, but I think when people want something, they want something, and that's not the something that they're gonna want.
So
that's all I'm saying.
So by your statement, you're saying people who have surrogate mothers, they're not real mothers or parents.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I say that that's completely viable. And I think if that's something that you want, absolutely. But I think people are very certain when they want things. And I think if you specifically want to have your children, that is very different from going to an adoption agency and getting your child that way. I think those are two different processes, and I don't think you can equate one to another.
Sure, I don't think anybody wants to equate. I think sometimes you use words not the way, like, you're saying, I don't know, you say some things that are, it's wrong in my opinion, but okay, but I think what you're trying to say, I think is fine, which is, what's wrong with a 40-year-old man who wants to have a kid that is his genetic kid, like a kid from his seed? That's really
There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to date a 20-year-old. You can date a 30-year-old.
No,
even a 40-year-old.
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, but it just gets riskier.
We're not talking about the age gap. I'm just saying, if you want someone that's fertile enough to have your child without having complications.
I think that dating people based on like a biological like urge that you feel is very weird to me personally.
Because we're going into instincts and we can't control our instincts.
You can control your instincts. That's what makes us not animals.
That's
But
what
I think
Dune's all about, baby.
I think personally,
Yeah,
as much as we
the test where he puts his hand in the box, that test is made to separate humans from animals, and it's can you overcome your instincts and prove that you're a human? That's what that test is about.
no,
And
but I
that's why
think
and in the movie and in the book, they bake it in that women are actually better at this than men, which is why they only breed women. Because they're like, men can't overcome their goddamn instincts. So,
Huh.
I'm just saying,
no, I think that there
there's
is
some
a
stuff there.
fine line in willpower. I don't think a lot of people have enough willpower to recognize that.
Man, it's just simple. It is easier for females to pull a fucking guy, and
Guaranteed.
it's easier. Any nigga who says different, you're fucking drunk.
I think there's
gotta be insulting. Why you gotta be
Yeah,
insulting?
you don't have to be insulting.
I
This is
think-
this whole biker shit that you like to bring in. but go
Biker
ahead.
shit?
I think that there is I think there's an unfortunate thing that happens to women where there is like an ideal age for a woman that's somewhere between like 18 and 35 or something like that.
Yes,
And
totally.
then after that it gets very hard for them to date. And I think that men actually have a little bit of an advantage because I think that like you start looking and you're like, oh, that guy's a silver fox or whatever fucking term they use for an older man.
Mhm.
There's not really an equivalent term for
I've
females.
been jerking off to
maybe
MILF porn
cougars
and
or
gilf porn my entire life. You're not gonna tell me that, all right?
yeah, but you're a deviant, so you're
MILF
like
and gilf.
you're like that little plot on like the statistics, like when they're graphing everything out, they're like, just ignore this little point up here. This one doesn't matter.
It's a perfectly straight line, and Dewey's the dot in the top left.
That is so perfect of a description of Doughboy and his whole
Listen,
entity of life.
So I think when my dad was saying that there's no equivalent, he's saying there's no equivalent at large. Yeah, you've jacked off to some gilfs on Pornhub, but how often do you come across a fucking gilf in public?
I've come across some.
No, because you're a deviant. The point is, in reality, anybody would be lying to say that in pretty much every single relationship that happens in the world, almost, women are the ones that are in a position of power, in the sense of they are dictating the terms. They are the ones that are accepting this relationship beginning and things like that. Like if a man is typically chasing a thing, and women are either accepting of that thing or they'll decline that thing, right? I'm not gonna deny that. But what gives me pause is to say it's easier because I think there's parameters that are baked into that, right? Like, what are the objectives here, right? Like, unfortunately, a lot of guys are just out to fuck, right? And if a woman's looking for someone,
Instinctually,
if a woman is looking for someone to be in a relationship with, maybe she could pull a whole gang of dudes. But how many of them dudes want to stick around? So maybe in her eyes, her dating life's a fail. Like, she can't find dudes that want to stick around. So it's hard to say that it's easy for anybody. Like, you're saying it's easy to fuck, but that's not somebody, that might not be somebody else's goal.
No, I'm saying it's easier for a female to pick and choose, right? Like Doughboy's, like right now, I'm gonna just speak for Doughboy.
We're talking about dating life. You're saying why do women have it so easy, and I'm saying maybe they don't have it so easy.
They do have it easy.
Maybe they could pick and choose, but maybe they're still not the choices.
Just because,
like, to Doey's point, a 40-year-old dude, they're looking for that 25-year-old chick. They ain't looking for these 40-year-old women. So some of them women that maybe look fine and all that stuff, their age is a barrier. They're cut out of the dating pool off rip. And then even of the people that are available, maybe they're not the people that want a relationship.
yo, if I find a MILF or a GILF, I'm open for adoption, by the way.
You're a deviant.
Just throwing that out there, we can make a
you're
beautiful
not
family.
You're not helping my point.
Okay, I'm just saying that.
I've got some rules in my life. I'm just gonna go over these rules real quick because I think Doey kind of gave us a tangent here. Me personally, I'm not dating anyone that's within like 10 years of my parents. And I'm not dating anyone
Why?
that is the same age as my nieces or nephews. To me,
Yeah.
there's a power dynamic in both of those ends of the spectrum that I just don't want. I don't want to have to navigate.
There's
I'm
nothing
That's
just
why I
wrong with
said
it.
Absolutely,
30.
Tony, you're
That's why I said
bugging.
30.
How am I bugging?
Late 20s.
You're shaking your head. No, there's absolutely a power
Yeah,
dynamic.
There's
no,
no
any-
issues
any-
wrong with
I'm
that.
not
No.
going on a date with an 18-year-old girl. She's half my age. I have 18 years of life experience over
There's
her.
a clear
I've got
problem.
18 years of a career over her. It's a fucked up dynamic.
You can
It's
teach
a-
her things.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
that's
that
called,
is the problem.
that's called grooming.
We all been groomed. We've all
Ooh, I hope not.
no. Think about it. Think about it. Right.
In a way, yes, he's
we've-
being correct. We've
all-
been groomed in a way that's proper to us, and it's not a taboo subject like you're trying to say people are groomed into. Like you're talking, your separation.
So
there's
what's the
separation of
proper way of being groomed?
he's saying that a grooming that you're doing from an old person to a young woman love is the same as us being groomed as children into how I'm guessing that's what you're saying.
I'm letting you. I'll interject once you fuck up. Go ahead.
Interject, please.
No. I'm saying I
You're
will once you
saving
fuck
him,
up.
though. He ain't think about any of this stuff.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's exactly what I was going with. That's why I was letting you speak. And if you said something wrong, I would interject.
Yeah, but there's appropriate grooming. Why we have teachers who teach certain subjects. You're grooming your subjects, right?
I guess you could word it that way. I would call it teaching. I would call it,
which is a teacher.
I would use the word grooming because it's got some connotations to
Yeah,
it.
grooming has a
nothing-
connotation.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with dating somebody that's 8 or 9 or even 10 years different age gap, right? There's nothing
He's
wrong
talking
with-
about like
So-
16 years difference, 17 years difference.
you're
what
talking
he's saying.
Still
about
nothing wrong
a
with
great
that.
difference.
Sure, I mean you're going for 8 or 9. I'm saying it's twice what you're saying. But continue.
I think that you could potentially find a relationship with that kind of age gap, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think that statistically, most of the time, there's some kind of manipulation, grooming, coercion,
Absolutely
fucked up situation in general happening in a lot of those large age gap relationships. 10 years is about my fucking limit, and even that is.
And that's the limit you can have. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a minimum and a maximum.
There is something wrong. There is a clear indication that there's something wrong with going too far in either of those directions. Absolutely.
As long as she's not below 18 or he's below 18,
but that's
it don't
just
fucking
going
matter.
to 18 is the problem. It's like saying I want to pay someone the minimum wage. It's like saying I want to pay you less than minimum wage, but this is where I'll settle right here at the cusp. It's kind of like the same thing. No, it's not acceptable, but that's why in culture and why within us and people, there's boundaries, and they're like, no, dude, anything below 18, you got a problem.
All right, sorry, because I feel like we're making. I muted myself like an idiot. I feel like we're making some assumptions about the conversation, and maybe we need to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, Tony, do you think power dynamics exist? And do you think power dynamics can be problematic?
When it comes to relationships?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Sexual relationships.
Yes, you think they can exist, and yes, they can be problematic.
Yes.
Okay.
Both.
And you do not view an age gap as a potential power dynamic.
Yes.
My reasoning is because of all the other factors that go into it. The age is obviously not the problem. The problem is the life experiences, your position in life, your mindset. Like there's a lot of things that go along with that age gap. That's why the age gap is there, because you have 18, 20, 30 years on.
And there's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing other than society looking at you away. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're 42 and you're dating an 18-year-old, yeah, that looks a little crazy, but at the same time, it's your relationship. If that works for you two, there's no problem with that.
I agree in the general. Like I agree that relationship
legally
in theory, not legally,
not even legally.
I'm legally big for the sake of this conversation. We're not talking legally. But I think that sure, you could find some 18-year-old that's mature enough to be with a 40-year-old man at a completely different point of life. I think it's fucking rare. I think that
No,
most
it
of the
is.
time,
It is. I agree with that.
I think that 95% of the time, that 40-year-old is grooming that 18-year-old to be his little pet. Yeah, his doll, basically.
Fuck
like,
me, here's some money, keep it moving. And I get that. But there is those scenarios, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like it's not far-fetched.
You're arguing exceptions, and like I'm not saying it's 100% a rule, but I think that if you're in a relationship with that kind of age gap, I think it's a consideration you have to have. Like, and I think most of us, as you said, men are driven by instinct. I don't know if I 100% agree with that statement, but I think that there's a lot of evidence to support it.
Yeah,
because men are driven by instinct. There's a lot of urge to exploit that power dynamic in the relationship.
Yep, I agree with that too.
And I think that's why women are naturally more protective of themselves and they're more aggressive,
making it harder for us niggas who are, well, not me, for y'all niggas who are
all
single.
Just lay down with us and just let us fuck them all, right?
No, I'm saying that women have their guards up more because they deal with more pieces of shits that just want to fuck versus us who deal with women who just want to fuck versus who just want a relationship. Like they go through more cups of teas than we can actually get. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why it's harder for males, but it's also harder for females. What?
I just love the cups of tea. Like I'm trying to think of the connection, and then all I could think of, I guess, I don't know, you know, it's not my cup of tea. You know, as a saying, and you're saying, but there's many other cups of tea, so they get to go through all the cups of tea. No one in the planet Earth has ever said what you just said, Tony. I just want you to know it's not a saying.
I'm a unique.
It's not a
nigga. I set the trends. I'm out.
He's a person of sayings and a person of unsayings because
I think that might be a Harkonnen phrase, actually, what he whipped up.
Yo, you know what, Mateo? You keep saying this shit, I'm going to just keep taking this as a disrespect.
He came out of that bath of teas. And he tried to put it on me, but that's you in the bath.
Me,
no. All right. Because it sounds like now you're agreeing. Maybe I misunderstood what you said earlier. You're saying you do acknowledge that there's a potential power issue with a large age gap,
but it's not wrong because you guys are. I'm taking it that you guys are looking at it as a negative form.
I just want do you yes or no?
Yeah.
Just right. Okay, you acknowledge that there's a potential age issue. That's the whole conversation. No one is saying that an age issue is a big age gap is a problem in and of itself.
To me, it sounded like,
and
it
I want to
be the alcohol talking.
Nobody's saying that.
It sounded like, okay, cool.
I'm just saying no one is actually saying that. What people are saying is when you got someone who's 18 years old and someone who's 45, that guy who's 45 has had sex with potentially a lot of people.
Hopefully.
And that 18-year-old might be a virgin. And that ability to tell someone what sex is like and to tell someone what it's supposed to feel like. You could do anything you want to that person and tell them that it's normal.
You could convince them that butt sex is more important than fucking
right.
No, yeah, you can manipulate them for sure.
The money difference, right? You have all this money at 18, this person has no money. You could use this money as leverage to do a lot of things.
No, I see the negative aspect in it.
Among other things, right? It's not necessarily negative aspects. It's more just potentials.
Shots.
These aren't negative. These aren't actual negative aspects. These are just negative potentials. And so that's all people are saying is that when you see large age differences, these are the things to consider. And these are the things that a woman
also
would consider. An 18-year-old girl might not be able to consider it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That you just validated my point that it's easier for females to pick and choose their cup of tea.
I would maybe agree with that one. I don't know that I would agree that their dating life is easier because I think that there's different complications and issues that arise in both sides of the equation.
I'm not saying that it's easier for them of dealing with it, but it's easier for them to pick their cup of tea, right?
Yeah,
it's not easy as a reference to which one you choose to try, but it's easy that you have the option that you can pick. Guys don't have that option.
Now, granted, this is a Twitter story that I'm about to say, but like, or a Twitter example I'm about to give. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You look at so thirst traps are a thing on Twitter, right? You look at the girls that post the thirst traps, and there's 500 comments or whatever, right? And those are some amount of those are male, and all those dudes are very obviously like going after that girl. If she were using that as a dating thing, like she would have her cup of tea, I guess.
Every day of the year, she could fuck a different dude if she wanted.
A guy puts a picture up, and it's not the same ratio of responses. I would say probably most of the time, like some
there are
percentage
certain
of the time.
exceptions because I've seen like my brother, and there's the one guy who likes to spit on his toilet paper as a wet wipe and use it as butthole. He posted some thirst traps, and they got a lot of likes.
Yeah,
so I gotta say, like women,
But probably not on par with women though.
Oh yeah, no, not on par with women, but you have like your rare cases.
All right, but also,
but we're also talking.
Wait. You just snuck that in there. This guy licks toilet paper and puts it on his butthole.
Yeah, I asked him if he used wet wipes.
This is your brother. What do you mean? Talking about?
No, this is this is a 6'5" German guy. He's really tall. That's just to describe who he is.
6'5"?
He's a tall German.
It's the anti-Hitler. He's
and
tall
I was
and
like,
buff.
and I was talking about like wet wipes, and I'm like, look, yo, have you ever used these things? And he said, why would I need that? He's like, you spit on the toilet paper and use it, and that's your wet wipe.
I think he was being funny. I don't think he does that.
No, he does that. He's like, what is a wet wipe? You don't need a wet wipe. You spit on your toilet paper and you use it, right?
The Fremen would be so offended that he's using his body's moisture to wipe his ass.
Facts.
Yo, why were the Fremen spitting into that thing then?
Because it recycles. Well, no. So they spit to make deals, right? And the way that I took it is that water is so precious in their world that spitting is just such a sign of respect because you're wasting water. Like it's
100%. Yeah. But that's not what Doi was asking. But that's why the guy spit on the table in the beginning of the movie.
In the meeting.
Ah.
Yeah. He was that's why Duncan Idaho was like, wait.
He stopped.
That's a sign of respect. And then he spit and they all spit. On their planet, moisture is so fucking precious that to waste your spit for another person is to be a high honor. It's like, I'm coming in here with the utmost respect.
I wonder how they piss.
You just spit right in someone's mouth. I give you my moisture, bitch.
You pee straight into your suit, 100%.
Into your suit, absolutely. Why do you think it says it recycles every part? Your doo-doo is recycled, bro.
No, that's not.
I don't think.
I was going to ask about that because there's a lot
of Doughboy's affixation with assholes.
Maybe if you had a liquidy that, maybe if you had some halal guys, maybe. Just maybe your dude will be recycled, okay?
There's a lot of water in turds in general. Like,
I mean, they're desert people, you know. They're eating halal guys all day, you know.
Maybe that's what the sandwalk is for. They're just shuffling the turds out.
They're just shuffling the turds.
Fucking guy. I do think though, like going back to my thing, like right, like Doughboy said something earlier about guys and their thirst traps versus women. Like no one gives a fuck about a dick pic. Like chicks don't care about that. Guys and females love.
I think we gotta
of females.
Yes. Okay. Yes. The way
Define care. Women hate dick pics. They're
you get some women that might like a dick pic.
Even in my lifetime, I have enough life experience. If any man is wondering whether they should send the dick pic out, 99% is no. You have to ask first, and if they're into that, then yes. But it's like a moment in time. Niggas ain't the way men's testosterone works. It's different from the way women work. It's just like we are like, look at my fierce cock.
There's
Nah, what-
nothing good looking about a dick. I'm not even gonna lie to you, right?
Have you
But
ever received a vagina pic? It's the worst thing I could receive. I don't want any woman's vagina pic. I've gotten a vagina pic. It's terrible.
yeah,
I
you
don't
probably
want it.
you probably got some whack ass vagina. I'm letting you know
No,
right
I'm being serious, bro.
It's a
That's
fucking
it's,
slit.
it's a genital. It's not
now.
anything of.
He got a chick that gave him some ugly ass photo.
No,
There's
no.
bitches that be adding some extra to that shit.
Bro,
Yes, you
I'm-
got a picture.
You got a whack pick, my nigga. It's
No, it's not, bro.
do it.
It's about the thought. It's about you don't understand it yet because you only got you don't understand yet. With enough experience, you'll realize that it's really the thought of what's beneath the dress, of the thought of what's it's like you don't really want
You're
the
making my
actual thing.
point. You're making my
I don't think
point.
he's
you
making
got
any
a
point.
whack. You got a whack, just a pussy shot. I'm talking about. There's females that will give you full body with a little dress, and they'll give you a little like a sneak peek of that toto. They wear like a see-through Victoria's Secret lace, and
Yeah,
I'm telling
no
you,
dick pic. No dick pic has that sort of
That's my
fucking.
point.
Niggas are just like, ah.
When no bitch wants a dick pic, they rather
I
have
think-
a dick in a gray sweatpants. That's what
I
they
think-
rather have.
I think that it's time for our every 5 episodes thing of like, come on, man. We keep referring to women as bitches.
I'm sorry.
This
Yeah.
is like
Who said that?
you
said
just
it
did
4
like 30
seconds
seconds ago. No, bitch.
Man, listen, I don't mean any disrespect. I just talk different. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna be better. But I'm just saying, Doe got some weak ass pussy pics, and he's trying to compare it to every other pussy pic. And I'm telling him, yo, there's females who put some effort into their pics, right? You get some.
Joey got a picture of a Klingon's head. Okay. He's got the forehead of a Klingon, and he's just like, fuck all this pussy
Yo,
pic shit.
listen.
I want dick pics now.
And
I
it's
just want
not even-
Pierce
Once?
cock.
No, because I'm gonna clear the air right now.
Oh, here we
No,
go.
just don't
Anyone-
clear. Don't
Don't clear
clear.
the
Bro,
shit.
Anyone that is lucky enough to find their mate as young as you guys did, and dude, you guys are a blessing, and it's a rare occurrence, and you're lucky. You're lucky that you found the one so early and that you don't have to worry about looking at various vaginas and
Yeah.
it's just you're gonna run into some rough looking vaginas in
Some
your
Klingon
days,
shit.
bro. All right.
Real quick. I've seen plenty of pussies. Real quick though. Mateo, did you just pull beer out of a fucking FedEx bag?
No, I'm smart. I've got an insulated bag here with an ice pack inside of it.
Oh
Keeping
my
my-
god! I'm like,
Keeping
yo,
my
this-
beers ice cold. So I can-
2020 vision.
I'm like, yo, did he just pull a fucking? All right, cool. But though, I literally seen all types of pussy, right?
Bro,
Growing up,
you
I've
have
seen-
not. You have not. Obviously, you haven't. Because if you see enough pussy, you don't want a vagina pic.
No, I
I've
want
gotten
every-
like I said, I've gotten a vagina pic,
I've never.
and I
said
don't
just-
want it.
I never said I just want a vagina fucking pick. I want the whole pick. I
But
want.
this is
I-
my
We've gotten
no
onto a
woman
weird
wants
tangent
a
here.
dick
Yeah.
pic. No woman wants a dick pic.
That. Yeah.
No woman wants a
You're
dick.
saying you're saying facts.
Actually, no, not facts. If a woman wants a dick pic
Sometimes
from you, she's going to
She'll
let you know.
you know. She'll
But-
let you know.
But here's a little bit of a one-up podcast advice for y'all. Just don't send your dick unless the girl asks for it. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Don't be
Guarantee it's
Anthony
not
Weiner,
gonna
man.
work out for you. It's not gonna work out for you unless she says, "Send me a dick picture right now."
You
That's
may as
the
well
only
go buy,
time.
you may as well go buy some lottery tickets because that's about your chance of sending an unsolicited dick pic and the girl being like, "Oh, you should come over right now."
Yeah, you gotta be like
Depends if your dick's big or not,
supermodel.
because
I know you gotta be like a
that might have to
supermodel.
have a play in it. If you
I
got
don't
a
think
small
that-
dick or some
no.
crooked or some
I
weird
think
dick,
that's manovision. We're looking at it with men vision. It's not gonna happen.
No, no.
If the cock is grand enough, it's gonna succeed.
You-
right?
that
Think this
golden
dick is
brown,
grand
you have that golden brown, it'll change your
I
life.
know,
Tony, let me,
dude.
Tony,
that's-
let me break it down. All right. If Anthony Weiner, his last name is fucking Weiner, if he can't get away with sending a dick pic, nobody can, okay? The woman will let you know. That guy's name is Oscar Mayer Weiner. He can't send any dick pics, okay?
Off rip,
Just
you
don't
shouldn't. Don't send a dick pic. Just when she's in front of you, nigga, whip that shit out and tell her, yo.
No, terrible advice.
Right.
This is the one. No, let me stop.
No, motherfucker. We went from harassment to a rape. Get out of here.
What's the comedian? What's that guy's name who was whipping his dick out and fucking jerking
Louis
off in front of
CK is
women?
who you're thinking
Louis
of.
CK.
He was not whipping his dick off during his shows.
Well, at
Yes.
least
Not during his show. Not during his show.
At least it wasn't
Backstage
to
of the
pressure
show.
nobody. He was just masturbating. Which is really bad.
Which didn't hurt
It's
anybody
really bad.
personally,
I'm
but
just saying
psychologically, it could fuck somebody's up.
I think that there's an implication of like a 6 foot tall dude whipping his dick out when you're alone in his room with him. Like,
No, the worst part is
he was
the
he was
worst-
going to town. He wasn't asking for
he
nothing.
he would ask. He would ask because Sarah
What?
Silverman was one of the people that, and some of these women would say, "Yeah, it's cool," but I think it was because they were so scared that they would be like, "Oh, yeah, okay,
We're
cool."
intrigued to see how that shit plays out.
No, they were not intrigued.
I think we're getting into the power dynamic thing again here.
Yeah,
He's
we're
like,
getting
he's a
into
again.
that. Sorry,
he's a
when I'm saying
comedian that can.
ask,
He's a
he
comedian
did
that can make
ask if
anything he
he-
wants.
yeah, exactly. He did ask if he can masturbate. I'm saying that he didn't whip it out to pressure them into sex. He was just trying to beat his meat. That's
No,
what I was
I'm
saying.
not saying to pressure
Sarah
anybody into
Silverman
sex.
used to let him beat his meat, and then
I would say that it's hard to read what his intentions were there, honestly.
because no, absolutely.
He
I'm
was
not
trying
I'm
to
not
turn her
speaking.
on and try to get that. I think that's what his
In,
intention
don't think it was to turn her on,
I
but-
think in his little his little like primal male brain in the back of it, he was like, maybe she will be into this. Maybe like me just starting will
Get her
coerce her
fucking
into.
I
wet.
think it was a very 70s way of coercing women. I think it was like a lot of my older
that old.
male people that I know, dude, even from the hood, they're like, yo, just whip it out. Just whip it out.
That's such an
Just
ignorant
pull-
hood shit. That's
Just
what goes
pull
back.
that shit out, my nigga. Start playing with that shit, and eventually they'll be cool with it. I've heard
that dude was
from
12
several.
That dude was 12 years old at the end of the 70s. So
Yeah,
he's
that's-
pulling
I
some
just looked it up.
70s style.
It's not
It's an 80s thing, whatever you call it. It was an
No.
older influence that I know from older men that have told me maybe I was
No.
not taught in the right way.
I think you're
Clear
hanging
that-
out with some creeps.
Yes,
No,
I was
I'm just
raised.
saying-
I didn't have a father, really. So I was
Dudes
influenced
in the
by a lot
hood?
of different people.
No. It's just people in the hood, man. People are different. That's it.
The nigga will pull
Louis
the dick
CK?
and be like, suck it or not.
Louis C.K., he whipped his cock out. He was jacking it. Not because even he was like, hopefully they're into it. That's like a too naive of a reading. I think he was like, yo, if I whip my dick out and start jacking it, they're going to think that we're now in a sexual situation and maybe sex will occur. That's what I think he's going for. And that's what all the dudes who just whip it out do. And you know what happens? All those dudes who told you to just whip it out, they would go on to coerce women to just suck their cock. Yo, come on, no. Just that's fucking rape, man.
This is where that fucking blue balls nonsense
No,
comes
You
from.
do that to your wife, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving me
No,
blue
Just,
balls.
I've never done that to my wife. What the fuck are you
never.
talking
Just
about?
you. I'm not talking about you particularly.
Never.
Like you be like, yo, babe, you want to
Who
go
the
to
fuck
the
are you
room?
talking to? Who else is
I'm just
married
saying,
on
like,
here?
it's just,
I mean, blue balls is a
general,
real
in
symptom,
general.
but
I've
like
had
giving
blue balls. I
someone,
don't think it's nonsense.
it's not
dry hump.
nonsense.
I got dry humped so hard that my balls hurt. Okay, I had to jack off to relieve it. It's real.
I think that might have been physical trauma.
No. It wasn't the clashing. Okay, it was not the clashing of balls. I'm telling you, the balls had some pent up semen. Okay, I think it's a real thing. All right.
Tony,
saying,
to your statement, I would say that being in a committed sexual relationship with someone changes the dynamics a little bit. I would also make the statement that it is possible for spouses to rape their spouses. That's 100%.
I'm not even saying rape. I'm saying you coerce them. Like, hey, babe, let's Well, let's just do a little sign. You know, half the time the females don't be into it. I'm tired. I got a headache. Oh, I just got off work. Oh, whatever the fucking excuses they want to give you. You be like, come on, baby, just a little bit. You give her a little massage. It starts off with Netflix or chill or some shit. Then next thing you know, dicks out. You fucking like sometimes you have to coerce your female. Sometimes because they're not in the mood, so you just want to get it in.
I think we were talking about. I think we were supposed to be talking about
is dating.
And we should have been talking about manipulation, okay? Because I think this is the lesson that some people need to learn here, okay? You say sometimes you just need to coerce. You should look up what coerce means, okay? It means to convince someone to do something against the will of what they want to do.
I think what Tony's describing is foreplay. I think that's what he's trying to talk about.
No. I don't think he has at all. Let me just speak real quick.
Oh, great. If you explain shit for me, my nigga, I'm failing
off. No, I'm going to give you a breath of air. I'm going to give you a breath of air.
I love every time in this episode where Tony and Doey have just spoken for each other.
This nigga said, I'm gonna give you a breath of fresh air. I don't want your cock air coming out of your mouth right now. Put it like this.
I think in the same way, this is gonna be totally random and off of what we're saying here. In a dating aspect, honesty is off the tables. You're not going to be honest dating.
Whoa.
No, you don't put honesty on the table. Unfortunately, with women, the way that they're built is that they do so much preparing. They get their nails done, they get their hair done, they get their eyelashes done. So much of what they're doing is like a preparation that you also have to come prepared. And if that means making yourself out to be what you aren't, but like it sucks to say, but it's like you gotta make yourself seem so much more grand than what you are. And you gotta make yourself seem so much cooler and actually than what you are. It's like a vulva trap. You got them, and then you kind of got them, and they're like, "Oh, this shit is really depressing. You're not as cool as I thought you were."
That's some weak shit.
I got two things I want to say to you, bud. That entire thing you just said, I just want to hug you after that because I feel like you've been taught very wrong by a lot of people.
No, I think it's all a preparation. I think it's all a preparation.
Number two, you always got to build a relationship off honesty. You have nothing if you don't have your fucking word. If your word doesn't mean shit, then you don't mean shit.
Facts.
Yeah, but I don't think that's attractive.
So, all right,
is that attractive? Is that something?
It depends on the female you fucking with.
Honesty porn doesn't exist.
Hold on.
Where's the genre? Honesty porn. No, that shit don't exist.
Your nails suck. Your hair looks so shitty right now.
You got like pure sex and relationships very jumbled up in your mind.
Yes.
Intertwined.
Yes, absolutely.
Yo, Tony too. This is why when Tony says dating is so much easier, women get their pick of tea.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, wait a minute.
They do.
I guarantee that my perspectives are absolutely wrong, and I'm very open to being wrong about something. I might be wrong, granted, but this is the environment that I grew up in, and this is what created me, and this is kind of like my idealism about the subject.
Let me ask a quick question, all right? Because I think it's what gave everybody pause. When you say honesty is off the table,
you don't
to what degree? I guess?
I'm a manic depressive. I take medicine. Hello, how are you? I take 20 milligrams of this medicine.
And then I think you're
niggas don't want to hear that. Niggas ain't trying to. Yeah, I jerk off to gilf porn every single morning, and niggas ain't trying to hear that type of.
So is that why you can't do the pod videos early on?
You gotta hide parts of yourselves that
100%.
listen,
But not forever.
maybe when you're doing this, when you're in high school and you're in the young age, maybe you don't get that yet. Maybe you're so pure that that's what you are, what you are. You know what I
There's
mean?
a
But
difference
as time
between
goes on, like you kind of gotta hide who you actually are, because it's not sexy. It's not sexy to be mentally ill. It's not sexy to do. You want to kind of superficialize yourself in the dating world. You want to make yourself seem more grandiose. That's in my opinion.
though. There's a
You can't
difference.
really like lead with honesty.
No, though there's a difference. There's a difference between actually trying to look for a relationship and something you're just trying to fuck. If you're just trying to fuck, you're not gonna put all this honesty on the table. If you're building a relationship, you're gonna give a little bit of honesty here and there.
So then why can I ask, can I just quick counter? Why do women put on makeup and do this whole dressing
attract
of
the
themselves?
opposite sex or the same sex?
Exactly. So I feel like as a male, we do the same thing.
Okay.
Nobody's
but-
gonna
but-
be
I don't,
like.
I don't,
But
I
I'm
don't,
saying,
I
like-
don't consider makeup or getting your lineup done or anything like that. I don't consider that lying.
No, there's some girls that
Sometimes that's just a lie. I've seen
Yo,
some videos.
have you seen the
bro.
And I'm
Asian
not trying to
video
get dick.
of Asian women? They
'Cause I think-
look
hold on,
completely
wait,
different.
Just wait. Because I think we're getting caught in the weeds here. Because I think what you just said, though, and what Tony said were the exact same thing in different words. You're saying women wear makeup and they do this, and men need to hide certain aspects of their character as you know they're entering this relationship. Tony said the exact same words basically, which is as you proceed in a relationship, you will share more and more of yourself as
Yes.
time goes on.
Yes.
Um,
Like I said,
eventually you're gonna sleep with this woman and you're gonna wake up with her without makeup. So you're gonna meet that person behind the person you met at the bar or at the club.
yes.
And likewise, that other person should meet manic depressive, whoever who has to take medication. Like
Yeah.
there's a give and take to all relationships. And I think again, going back, when you're saying honesty is off the table, to what extent is really the question. Like,
Yes.
is there a point where you are honest, or is there always a moment where you're always going to be dishonest about something?
For sure.
For sure.
I
what?
think the way you scoped it right now is the way I should have scoped it.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah,
Are you
you're
always
right.
going to be
It's
dishonest?
to a
or-
certain extent, yes.
Because I feel like when these guys were like, no, honesty 100%, I'm like, I don't even agree with that necessarily. Because
Who said that?
I mean, Mateo said something to that effect, and you agreed with it. You co-signed it.
I said what I said was depending on what the situation is, right? Depending on what the situation is, either you're looking for a relationship, be honest little by little.
Sure, I'm saying
We're
talking about in a relationship. That's what we're talking about.
in a relationship, you do a little by little.
Dating. Dating
as
as
the-
And I'm
well.
asking, are you 100% honest, or is there still some lie?
By what point? In the beginning.
The
think
answer is there's
dating- I
always a
think-
little bit of lie. Like when there's white lies that you do for the people you love. Like when someone asks you a question about something, and in that moment, if your response could only be harmful without a means of fixing, say Doey's in the middle of nowhere with a dumb shirt, and there's no way he could get a better shirt.
You remember
I tell
that
him-
one shirt that you hated? It's like the woke tee. I
I
can
don't
put it on
remember.
now. Hold on.
No, you don't got. Oh my god.
But if he's in the middle of nowhere with a dumb shirt, with no means of changing a shirt, and I'm just like, that's a real stupid shirt. You should change it. All that serves to do is hurt his feelings, right? In that moment, it's kind of a white lie to like not offer that info. Or even worse, if someone asks you, how do I look? And you go,
What does
oh,
that
you
got
look
to do with
fine.
relationships?
Because these are the questions you get asked.
What
like
the
these
fuck?
are the kinds
Have
of
you been in a
situations.
relationship?
This nigga is comparing. This nigga is Pucho is saying.
I'm not comparing anything. Y'all gave an impression that you need to give 100% honesty.
Who's
and
y'all?
I'm saying, Mateo said
Atheon
something
said
to
that
that
shit.
effect, and you co-signed it, Tony.
I
Come on,
co-signed.
bro.
I did not. I co-signed to the
Yeah,
fact that
yes.
you give a little bit of information.
No, you didn't co-sign it. You said that. That's different.
Rewind the tapes.
No, he did say that you give bits and pieces. I just
100%.
think
He did say that. I agree.
Now to my statement, I think that you can't you can't have big lies. Like you can't lie about who you are as a person.
I'm 100% there with that.
I think in everyday conversation, I don't know that I would call it lies, but there might be some like more diplomatic ways you word things than you would if you were being just like given a truth serum in your neck. It's like, how does this dress look? Be like, I don't know. It bulges out weird in the middle. Like
how does everyone feel
maybe the
about
honest answer? That would be maybe the honest answer.
But this shirt.
Damn.
But the diplomatic answer would be something like, I like that color on you. That color looks good, or something like that, right? Like it's like friendships. Like you don't give 100% honesty. This is the point that Pucho's over here making, Boone. I walked back.
Yeah,
I'll give y'all 100% honesty. What do you mean lies?
No, you just lied to me the other episode when I asked you why were you smirking like that. You proceeded to lie to me. So no, you don't give 100%. You're a fucking liar.
When?
You're a liar.
Listen to what we're talking about. Listen to what we're talking about. You're saying giving you honesty of what you're like wearing.
Do you lie or do you not lie to your friends? You lie.
No,
so you're not 100% honest.
I don't lie.
Joey,
I do not lie.
Joey, I like that shirt. I like that color on you.
And that's not the shirt I said was stupid. It's that other shirt.
You hated this shirt. I've never worn this shirt on pod because of that reason.
No, I did not say I hated that shirt. The shirt I hated was that fucking paid in full shirt that we were talking shit about, and then that chick on the sidewalk was like, "You have a great shirt." That's the shirt.
I've never worn that on pod.
That shirt you have on looks fire. I wouldn't say that shit looks stupid.
So are we going to try to break our record for longest episode, or are we?
We're breaking it. We're breaking it.
We're
breaking it.
Wow.
All right. To all the fans, all the listeners, all the viewers, thank you guys for sticking this long in this episode.
I think it could go longer, but whatever.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell. Go on Instagram. Go on TikTok.
If you've made it this long, you've known that I gotta dance.
Yo, Doe, sit down real quick so I can see your ugly ass face and we can all focus here. Nah, I'm playing. You got a beautiful face.
I love the dance story.
And just hit the subscribe button. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, IG. We're on there. I said it twice. Just share us too. Don't be afraid. You know, we got some good shit going on here. And comment on every single one of our posts or videos or whatever. Let us know what we need to do, what we gotta do, how we gotta do whatever. If you hate the episodes, whatever, just comment. We'll reply. We'll answer.
And that's a fact. All y'all motherfuckers on Facebook. All y'all motherfuckers on Facebook sharing y'all bullshit businesses, talking some join this motherfucker selling nails or this motherfucker serving food. I like all that shit. I follow all y'all pages. Y'all showing the motherfucker no love. Get on this bitch and like this shit.
All right? Pooch, say the name. Let them know it's real.
This is where you don't give 100% honesty. You know what I'm saying? It's more diplomatic to just kind of let it ride out. You know, you gotta let those people feel their feelings.
They know who he's talking about. They feel that shame in their head.
They feel the shame. They know who they are. You know who you are.
If they don't change, we call them out. I'm fine with that deal.
Yeah, Lacey.
Make our gifs.
Yeah, fucking Lacey. You just focus on Spotify. Shut your ass up. I'm CEO in this motherfucking shit. Look at Pujo. Pujo is cringing so bad right now when I say that.
Because you don't even know
the problems that you're causing.
You will get stabbed.
Bye, Lacey.
I will be a stepfather to your son after you're stabbed.
Please.
And we'll see how strong the love of an adopted child really is. Okay?
Because apparently Doughboy don't think there is any love. Yo, once again, like we always say, how we always end it, one up yourself. Every day, every night. Peace.